Hello and welcome to the Scope podcast from Enroll. For those of you who don't know us, Scope is a recruitment training business co-founded by myself, Ed Khan, and Laura Hopes.
And each week we're going to be giving you 10-minute snippets into our world of recruitment, tips and tricks to help you on your journey as an agency recruiter, and hopefully some laughs along the way too. We hope you guys enjoy.
Hello, welcome with my cool new Scope background.
I knew you were going to call me out on this. I just got told to move to a more attractive location. I'm in my spare room, which is in the process of being decorated.
Well, most of our viewers are actually viewers on YouTube now, Laura, so they are being subjected to your living room. Not living room.
The blander the background, the more appealing the front.
Also, front rooms, it's such an English thing, but wasn't your front room like the fancy room? Like no expense was spared on your front room, and as kids you weren't allowed into it unless you had guests. We had like velvet wallpaper in the front room.
Full of like floral things, lace curtains, puree. Yeah, no, front room was like the special guest.
Oh, you know what I remember from our front room? No one in our house smoked, but Dad had like these gold ashtrays that came up from the floor, and they were like gold, and then they had like these little buttons that you clicked and they opened up, and I just thought they were the fanciest thing. And his friends used to come over and smoke in the room, and then I would go into the room afterwards because I really like the smell of smoke. Probably why I'm a smoker.
And now you're a smoker.
Thanks.
I actually had a dream last night that I had a cigarette. And like, for those of you who maybe haven't watched this before, I was 6 months pregnant, right? And I woke up this morning and told my partner, and he was like, "Oh, did you feel like gross?" And I was like, "No, great. I really, really want a cigarette." The fire. Okay.
Guess what? We've just wasted 2 minutes of our 10-minute episode on reminiscing about the UK and cigarettes. Welcome to the episode.
Packed full of value as always. Okay. This week we're talking about the customer journey because, and did I do a post on it? Maybe I did.
I think you did.
But yes, I did. I think it's really important as recruiters that we start to recognize the depth of relationship we have with customers rather than just focusing on someone isn't a customer and then they are a customer. And I think this is like a marketing lens to put on your customer journey. But I think it's really important for us as recruiters because I think we're very, very black and white. It's like they build with us or they haven't. Whereas actually the depth of relationship with your customer really should affect how you manage that account.
100%, because at the moment, I don't know about you, but how it's deciphered is it's usually build with us in the last 12 months or not, or ex-client that built with us pre-12 months ago. That's the level of, what's the word? Not deciphering, but segmenting that people typically put on recruitment clients. And there's just so many different types of clients that we can't have the same account management strategy with each one. It's so dependent. And I think that's why your post did really well, because I think it was really good food for thought on the different stages of a customer's journey. Like just them giving you a role and filling it doesn't automatically make them a really high value client or a recurring customer. There's so many different things.
Yeah, and I think then what we do is we end up treating all clients exactly the same. Like someone who's, placed their first role with you and someone who has been working with you for 3 or 4 years are at very different stages of working with you. And unless you know also where you can take a customer, you don't really know how much further you can impact that account. And you can't have really honest conversations with yourself either around like, what is the depth of this relationship? So, like, whether it's an existing client and they give me some of their roles and, that's where that client is at, where it's actually like, no, we should have a strategy to move them through to the point where they are a brand ambassador. And so we kind of put together, I guess, a a structure for this, right? We went from, okay, someone who's a hot prospect is someone who is essentially like on the cusp of buying from you. Then you essentially have like a customer, an existing customer, someone who has bought from you, but at this point isn't a repeat customer. Then we have obviously our repeat customers, which shows that level of loyalty, and we're starting to get that level of kind of relationship with them, and they buy from us as preference. Then you've got what I would call a loyal client who buy from us exclusively. And then at the tail end of that, what we should be aiming for with all of our clients is that brand ambassador status, where they're buying from us, but they're also encouraging others to buy from us. And I think that's the bit that we really miss in recruitment. That kind of happens with some of our clients, you know, by the nature of working with them for a long time.
Usually by accident.
Yeah, but there's no strategy to go, how do I take someone from an existing client who works with me regularly but still works with other recruiters to someone who is shouting about me in the market? And I think that's the bit that as recruiters we need to get smarter on.
I think it's an interesting one, because the whole idea of that style of thinking is very marketing led, and to get that customer from, they buy from us, do they absolutely adore us, do they use us instead of every other agency and continuously rave about us, to get to that stage and take a customer through that journey, there does need to be a marketing approach. And an approach that's, for me, I think one of the key things is it's not just recruitment. You won't get it by just doing recruitment for that client. There's so much more to it. There's other touch points that you need to make to showcase your value outside of just candidates. Because at a certain stage, I think once the client's used you, you've demonstrated your ability to find the right candidates, great. But what then elevates you to that brand ambassador? If I look at HumeScope customers, for example, they all on the surface are the same type of customer. They're all recruitment agencies. They all buy rookie course tickets or experienced course tickets or the membership.
Yeah.
The ones that shared about us, we add huge amounts of value, and our approach to it, aside from providing these public courses, is to add value. And I think that's, personally, I think that's why our business has been so successful. It's because our approach is always add value outside of just exactly what we're trying to sell. And I think that's the approach that typically gets agencies stuck in this morass of, we've got all these clients, they don't absolutely adore us, but they use us for recruitment.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it's add value knowing that the sale will come, isn't it? And if it doesn't come, there'll be people that will continue to take the free resources, all of those things, and that's fine. They just don't need to buy from us, but we're also able to impact the ones that will. And I think also when we kind of implemented this or looked at our clients through this lens with HumeScope, like we're very clear at where a customer is on that journey. Like we know the customers that we can utilize as our brand ambassadors and that are happy to do that for us. We know the customers where there's a bit of work to start getting them to that point. And we also know the ones that aren't going to get to that point because they don't want that relationship with us. And so it also takes the pressure off on the flip side, it takes the pressure off because some of your clients aren't ever going to have or want or need that relationship with you, for you to be able to be like, I think I've got that client as far as we're going to go together, and now it's about maintenance. And knowing that in exactly the same way with your business development, it's like, you know, you probably convert 5 to 10% of the people that you speak to. It's probably the same with your existing clients, like 5 to 10% are going to convert into a brand ambassador, and you've got others that are going to sit along that journey, but you don't know what you're impacting if you're just going not a client. And you don't know then what you should be doing. But I do think it's about the value adds, and I think you know we harp on about this, don't we? It's our thing. It's like everything with HumeScope is we feel like we have permission to sell off the back of adding value.
It's funny, isn't it? That literally, if you hear about this type of selling, essentially, or type of relationship building for the first time, it doesn't make sense. because you're saying to people, don't sell, even though you're a salesperson and you've got a product. It's like, don't sell, do everything but sell, make sure you're adding value. And that's always been our approach, and it works. I mean, I would say for every 10 calls that we have or Zooms with clients, it's around adding value to them. And off the back of that, the conversation naturally comes to, do they actually need something that we can offer them?
Yeah. I just don't mind. I don't mind direct selling as long as you're adding value alongside.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like all of our LinkedIn, not all of our LinkedIn posts, but like we do post on LinkedIn like about our courses and about this and that. But I'm happy to do that, and I'm proud to do that. One, because I believe in our product, and that's a whole nother conversation. But one, I believe in our product. But two, I can stand behind the fact that our primary purpose is to add value. And if someone messages saying, please unsubscribe, or, you know, thinks we're super salesy on LinkedIn, I'm like, well, you know, you've attended our last 5 webinars that were for free. So I feel like
our unsubscribe rates, I reckon, speak for themselves, and that's why, because 9 times out of 10, our outreach is around adding value. And then we do direct selling. But at that stage, you're 100% right. If someone's had value from you, they trust you, then I think you're totally, well, not within your rights, but it's totally fine to then do well within your rights. We'll sell here.
Whatever.
So maybe the question is, whoever's listening, maybe take a few clients that you work with and jot down the last 10 interactions you've had with them. Have they all just been recruitment related? Has it been conversations around candidates? And is there any value that's being added outside of purely, I've got a candidate for your roles? And if the answer is, yep, that's all the conversations, then perhaps you need to start looking at value add reasons to get in touch with them.
Yeah. So not to complicate it, but some clients, you know, you can just sell them candidates and they will become a brand ambassador for you. So I think doing that as the first exercise is really important. Like, where is this client on my customer journey currently? And what value can I add to move them along? And do I think I'm going to be able to move them along is really important. And I think it will, as an experienced recruiter, help you to be able to analyze where you should be spending your time. Like, you know, and how you leverage and utilize your clients to develop other clients. Like if you're going out to existing clients asking for referrals, but those clients aren't even repeat customers yet, probably not spending your time in the right places. So I think it just allows you to get way more strategic with how you structure your business development and what angle you take depending on where someone's at in the customer journey.
It's been a real educational podcast episode this week.
Yeah. Are you enjoying the rolled up rug as in the background? I bet that's really
It's literally driving me insane. I'm actually just looking at myself on the screen.
It's all going to be sort of, you can see the paint swatches, you're choosing colours.
Oh, cute. God, that'd be such a cute baby room.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, tune in next week. Hopefully not from Laura's front room.
It will be.
That isn't actually like a front room.
It will be, because we're recording it after this session.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, guys.